I hate it when people make statements like, that they know what God's doing in everybody's life, when really I don't know what God's doing in my life, much less than I know what's going on in your life. The only time I know is when God actually reveals it to me, but even that can change, at any moment, in any moment period of time. And the thing is, we don't have no idea or clue what God has revealed. Like I hate it when people make statements like, well, it's true. If they're not doing anything godly focused, then yeah, they probably shouldn't be doing that kind of work for God, because we don't want to be doing work that is not focused towards God. But at the same time, how do you know what they're doing is wrong? It's like you're God showing discernment, saying that you're God, when yet you have no idea what they're doing, because you don't know what their motives are. Now, if their motives are not for the right reasons for God, yes, that would be true, but I don't think people wanting to take America back, I don't think all their motives are impure. I think they have a pure vision from God, too. I think they want freedom for all people, because that's what God wants for all people. Truly, that's what the Scriptures teach. He doesn't want us to be enslaved or tyrant over by a single or a group of dictators. He wants us all to be free. And that's what, and that's what these people vision, like Alex Jones. I don't think there's nothing wrong with saving America as long as it's godly centered. But if it's not godly centered, of course, it's all going to go poof in vain. As we read about in 1 Samuel today, what happened to the Philistines, and what happened, to the line of to the people that were connected with the Philistines, who have that magical faith that look at the ark as some kind of magical box, thinking that God is only limited to be on the cherubim of the box of the Ark of the Covenant, when really God is not limited there. He's not limited by a church building. He's not limited by a home ministry. He's everywhere. And even when you think He's not there, He is there. Usually when you're going through problems, that's when God is closest to you. It's not when He's farthest away. And it also tells us that in the Bible and Scripture, that He's closest to you when you're going through turmoil. But the thing is, how do you, for someone to make statements that say that maybe their opinion is not pure is wrong, because you don't know what their motives are. You don't know what their heart is. Only God does. So I kind of stay away from making statements like that, because you don't know what their pure heart or what their true, motive is. Some people, it may be a distraction because they're doing it for the wrong reasons. But if they're doing it for the right reasons, they have just as right to, want to take back the republic or restore America just like anyone else does, especially if it's for godly intensive purposes. And I'm sure Alex Jones' motive is for that. I'm sure other people that follow him, who really want to do that for godly reasons are for that. But I'm sure there are other people that want to do it for other reasons that aren't godly. But I wouldn't say that anyone that wants to take America back is a dead cause, because as long as the world is turning, and as long as, we're able to do things, we still can make a difference until God returns, and that's what Scripture also tells us and teaches us. So for us to judge and make, failing statements, that's the marks of a failure. And if there is a conflict, you will surely die having that kind of attitude. That's why you need to really look at yourself and do a self, inventory and self-reflection. It's always so easy to point the flaws out on everyone else's logs, but you need to look at your own logs before you cast judgment. It's like someone wrote to me today, 2 weeks ago, in a comment in one of my sermons where it says God has the power to save us through the Gospels. The Gospels is where God can save us. And someone says, you guys don't love God. And they didn't say why. I hate it when people say stuff and don't back it up with reasons or why. And they use incomplete thought and sentences. And, it's to me, if you're going to say something like that, you need to say why instead of just making a blunt statement just to say something. Because it doesn't ruffle my feathers, dude. It just shows your ignorance because you don't have no reason to back up why you made the statement in the first place. To me, it seems like it's you who doesn't love God. It's not us here at New Hunter Church of Christ. But it's you that has a complex issue in your heart to write something like that because you want to start a debate or start something online because you're unhappy with the things that are going on in your life. And it's not us here at New Hunter Church of Christ that have the issue, but it's something within yourself for someone to write a comment like that and then not say reasons and cite reasons why. why waste time to write a comment like that when it's not necessary? So, just, think about that. Don't go be slamming people and don't have a reason why. I think you're a troll is what I think you are, and that's what trolls do. So if you need to go do something else more productive with your time than trolling people and just causing trouble. Okay, because that's what I call trolls. I call them troublemakers. And to give you an update as far as Bass Pro is concerned, we have not heard anything from the management there. I called them on the 17th as an update to give you a follow-up. Have not heard no call back to why they don't want us to promote this food saver there at the Ashland, Virginia store, but hopefully they will call us back. I gave my number in case the guy from Bass Pro doesn't know what my number is. It's area code 804-789-9373, and if that guy made the decision, I wish he could give me a reason why. I wish he could make time in his schedule to give me a definitive reason why and talk to me rationally like a man, mano to mano, and not be, cowering or not thinking that he don't have enough time to spend on me because he's more important than I am in his pay grade. But yet he could really take time to spend some time with me. I'm not saying he's doing that. I know he's a busy person, but I haven't heard from him for over a week, and I was under the impression the guy was going to give a call back that day, but they have not yet called yet. So let's hope that we can still demo the food saver there at that location this December, and we'll keep you up to date. This is Mikel DeSilva with just a little bit of views on some comments that people made. I think it's very important that we be careful what we say, because sometimes what we say can unappeal things on us when we say things when we don't really have the judgment or really have the authority to say what we're saying. So, when we're preachers, we got to be careful of that, because we don't know what the motives of other people's hearts are. Only God does. And if they're doing something wrong, you're right, they're going to fall, just like the Philistines did in 1 Samuel chapter 4. They will fall, just like they did. But the thing is, if people have a pure godly motive, they won't fall. And I don't think all these people who are doing these things that want to take America back or restore the republic is an impure motive. And I don't think it's a distraction from God either. I think it's what they feel in their heart that's best. And God may be leading them to revive this country through that virtue or channel. But anyway, we need to pray for Alex Jones, because, he was... him and a lot of fans were sort of, I wouldn't say attacked, but they were ambushed by some thug-like feds that are criminals, that are bad feds. There are a lot of good feds in the government, but these people were bad, working for they were a black ops kind of situation, and we need to pray for him and pray for also for them for what he's doing, because what he's doing is valiant and is noble. And it's something and heroic, and it's what we all should do. Just like what Edward Snowden did was heroic. It was honest, and it was noble. And he's not a hacker. He's not a traitor on the government. That's how the government sees it, because he exposed everything that we confirmed. Like I said before, we already knew this was going on. But when Snowden brought it to light and said names and processes of what was going on, then, of course, that's what made it all, the revelations come out to light to be revealed. And that's basically what Snowden did here. He's not a traitor. There's nothing wrong with saying somebody's a hero, because he is, just like WikiLeaks. He's a hero. Getting all that information to be released so people want to know, because, what did Obama promise when he first came in office? One of the things that he said that he was going to do is that he was going to make government more transparent. Well, guess what? He did the opposite of that. He's not been transparent with us at all. Having all these secret meetings, telling us serial lies one after another, talking about sneaking in martial law by 2014. These are not, tactics of an honest and transparent government. All the things we see in Fast and Furious, we haven't heard the end of that yet. And of course, all these other things that are going on that we don't even know about. That are horribly evil and wrong. What about all the money that's being laundered by all the banks, in our country, coming in and out for drugs? What about that? We haven't heard much about that, but it still goes on. And, of course, it's public news. What I'm saying ain't nothing that's not classified or anything. It's out there in the news. Other papers have reported this activity and wrote about it. So, and news organizations. So, That's just a little bit of the things. There's so much more going on. But anyway, this is about general events. And, of course, we'll have In the News coming up this week, and we'll have more other things going on, too. And, of course, you all have a nice day, and be safe wherever you are. If it's snowing and ice, and there have been 8 people that were killed out there in the middle part of the country in Texas, snow and ice, and out in the Midwest because of snow and ice, and not something that they usually see at this time of year, especially in Texas. They were a little freaked out to have ice on their windows and their cars. So we're having extreme weather, and it's the real reason is because God is mad at us, and I know that's what it is. It's not a judgment. It's really the truth. He's mad at us because most people have turned their back on God, like they did with the Ark of the Covenant. They just thought God was limited to that ark, but God is everywhere. It's just like people today. A lot of people towards the end of time will turn their back on God and don't think there's any significance or importance on them because they'll try to do things on their own like the Philistines were doing in 1 Samuel. And that's why they all perished. Well, that's the same thing will happen to all those who are acting like that today. They will all perish. This nation will perish with that kind of attitude. Or any other nation that is like this. It's a warning that God sends out to all nations to not give up on God, to not turn their back on God, or to go to other gods or idols, whether it be a television, a computer, a cell phone, or whatever. Whatever your idol is that you're spending more time with that's keeping you from going to church or reading the Bible, that is an idol. So if you're spending more time watching TV, then you need to just turn the TV off and turn all these other things off and just have a quiet place without the cell phone beeping at you and read the Bible and read a real book. Try reading real books that smell, funny, but read them. Read a book that actually where you can feel the pages, not an e-book. But I mean a real book at a library. Go to a public library. Get some real books and read them. Get your kids to go outside and get off the computer or off the tablet or off the video game console and go outside and have a real game of basketball, not something that they play on a video screen. And get off the TV and get off the computer and do some family-oriented activities where you actually all do stuff together. Get in the act of having family night where everybody comes together around the table without texting at each other, without talking to people on the phone, without dad being on the phone or on the computer or on a portable device doing business deals. But put all that stuff aside and say we're going to have 1 hour for dinner. And we're all going to come together every night, Monday through Friday, for that 1 hour so we can share about school or talk about what happened at work or talk about what's going on with boyfriend and girlfriends and talk about pure pressure or talk about whatever you want to talk about all together as a family. The government's is trying so hard to take that away from us and destroy any way to do that, just like they don't like the word marriage or heterosexual, or they don't like people to say stuff about homosexuality, talk about Muslims, or talk about, yet people can talk about Christianity and slam it down and persecute against it because that's the reason why they want to get rid of that. And that's what's going on right now. And, we were reading from 1 Samuel chapter 4, it's talking about the Philistines, and it reminds me much like what the government is doing today in this time, how they turned their back on Israel, which are basically what they were doing is turning their back on God. That's basically what's happening here in our country today. And you see the similarities, open your eyes. You can see what's going on. That's why I was talking about that, alluding to that earlier, because that's a lot what's going on right now. And God is going to destroy those who do this. God destroyed those who mocked Noah and his family when they were building the ark. God destroyed those who mocked Jesus, and God destroyed the city of Rome. God will destroy America if we do not stop doing this. He's going to destroy this nation. So you need to think about this. So I leave you with these thoughts. I'll see you, like I said a few minutes ago, with another update later on today. You all have a nice one. I love you in the Lord, always. Mikel Silva, evangelist at New Hunter Church of Christ. Bye for now.